I think there's a lot of reflections on this latest funding round, but also from the pre-seed round last year.
One or two.
Yeah, a couple. So we did our pre-seed round at the end of last summer. That was interesting. I think we were naive as founders.
Naive, yeah.
Right. And we were coming out the gates. We had some initial kind of MVP validation. We had a prototype. We were going to the market to raise some capital. We had a bit of our private network participating, and then a flurry of inbound messages from VCs on LinkedIn. And we thought, wow, like this is great. More validation on what we're doing. We spoke to quite a few. It was in the tens, right? And I think the thing that we realized on reflection is we accepted probably too many of the meetings where initially there just obviously wasn't the right fit, whether it was investor, founder or market, enterprise or consumer, with the institution and ourselves. The second being, we just shared too much content too early. We were always like really keen to prepare. Like we sent them a deck to facilitate a conversation. And actually I think more often than not, the conversation from their side was really to keep their finger on the pulse around the market and to just get a sense of what's going on. I don't know how invested in and interested they were in really what we were specifically doing for our niche. Having said that, we did get 2 term sheets. We actually ended up just going with our private network. So successful raise, and it's facilitated the growth journey we've been on to date. But then my reflection on the seed round kind of is the learnings from the pre-seed, right? We kept it to a really narrow 8 to 10 VCs that we knew and had continued to build relationships with since we did the pre-seed. So that was the first thing. We really protected our time and we invested deeper in the relationships that we knew we wanted to. The second is we controlled the process and the content. So we didn't go in with a plethora of PowerPoint presentations with Excel models. We kept it conversational. We kept it to the founders, our vision, our journey, the progress, and how we're going to unlock growth off the back of this investment. And that then ensured that it stayed to what we were doing and not some form of other evaluation. Then when it came to a investor committee meeting or a point of decision, we were then ready to provide them with additional content. This then meant that we could ensure that we were actually positioning what we needed to position at the right point in time.
Yeah, and I think the way I think about that is this time we were just far more intentional with our fundraising like we are with our product. But the other reflection I've got is about the timing. And actually the conversations were so different when we were able to prove an element of customer pull, market traction, to validate our vision and validate to prove that we were quite some way down the journey towards product market fit. And I think that gave us a whole new dimension this time around as well.